Hello and welcome. Good evening, good day, and good morrow. Welcome now to the NOWcast Game of Thrones Postcast cast post. Fucking yes, it's called a postcast because it's after the cast of Game of Thrones cast.
Post haste.
Post haste. We actually do these quite regularly, actually, and pretty quickly now. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like if we had, like, a Game of Thrones night,
Yeah.
like, I'd, like, come here on a Monday night, and we'd watch it and cast immediately afterwards, like, if, like, work wasn't an issue and stuff. I feel like that would happen.
I would do that. If it wasn't time constraints, I'd do that and probably do, like, a live stream. Just do it all in one, get it all done in one.
We could cast the YouTube live.
Yeah, we could do the postcast, precast, livecast.
Throwncast. As I said to you a minute ago, we're going to try something a bit different this week. I arranged my notes in, like, area order. So normally we try and do it as close to, like, the scenes as it is. And we discuss scene after scene, like, in order of the show. But this time I've just, like, sort of made my notes like, okay, this was all the chats they had at Winterfell. Notes. These are all, like, you know what I mean? I've condensed it because this episode has a lot of location jumps.
Yes, it does. It jumped backwards and forwards.
Yeah, so, and given that, like, half of those are just, like, the boys' banter sesh.
Yeah, the Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
banter. It's actually better than Suicide Squad.
it wasn't overly.
I rewatched that episode at the end when they were like, they go to the prison. And they're just like, hey guys, we need a group of ragtag no do-gooders to come with us past the wall.
Look, you're in prison, so you're bad, and we're going to take you against bad people.
Yeah.
Way. All the articles, if you look up the episode, are about the director of the episode having to release a statement about the timeline.
Oh yeah, just director Alan Taylor breaks down timeline.
Yeah. The first thing I've got down is about the bow story, where Arya's talking about being out in the Winterfell courtyard for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
Missing shots after shot, and then Ned just claps her in. And like the summary of the story is that obviously he was supporting her, even though it's not the lady thing to do, it was just what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
So it might be against the rules, but the rules are wrong, sort of thing. Like, I thought that was such a wonderful moment. I thought that was really powerful, really cool to see. And, like, especially because Arya's turned into this, like, cold bitch recently. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it was. And it kind of showed that as well. I think it's kind of taken out that theory that she might be the other girl.
Oh, the wife.
Yeah, because the wife wouldn't really care that much, to be honest.
I mean, the problem is, though, right, and this is something I sort of think, I said this last week, and I think I said it the week before, and I think it become much more evident in this. I think you can really tell that they're not following George's work anymore. Because, like, I still think it's good, and I still think the writing is well done, to a degree, but I feel like they don't have, like, the interactions that he's written, so they kind of panic a bit. Like, a lot more of the dialogue seems a lot more tame and seems just a lot less subtle. It's very, very overt writing.
Yeah, pretty much. What they're also doing as well is a lot of the time in regards to the invertness.
Then they start chatting about the letter and stuff, and, like, Arya starts absolutely kicking off about the letter. Now, Arya's probably one of my favourite characters in the show.
Yeah.
But I think she goes a bit OTT with the letter here.
But what I don't understand is that she seems quite smart. So why? It was a setup on purpose.
Right. I wanna come over. I wanna touch that because it's like I'm kind of in two minds because it also makes me think of this fan theory, which is something we're to discuss. I think what I want to believe, is that she's cottoned on that Littlefinger put it there on purpose, and is now acting up as much as she can to Sansa to force Sansa so she can tell where her loyalties lie.
Right, okay.
Because she's, like, look at her journey, right? Arya's journey has taught her to trust no one because everyone is trying to kill her at all opportunities.
Yeah.
So I want to believe that is the case. That she's sussed it and is just trying to see if she can still trust Sansa.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to believe a couple of seasons ago when she was swaggering around Bravos throwing gold at people to get a ship back home.
Yeah.
I also wanted to believe then that she was setting up a trap for the waif but she wasn't. She just got stabbed. It was just bad writing.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to believe that she's smart and sussed it, but I'm worrying that it's going to be next session and it's just bad writing.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, so it's kind of like a thing that hasn't been covered. Maybe they were going to cover it, like a story arc.
It's like an arc that they've not got time for, so cut and smashed it together.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
But I saw a fan theory. I've got a few fan theories I wanted to discuss in this one.
Yeah.
That Littlefinger's already dead.
Yeah, no, I understand that one, yeah.
I've seen the fan theory that after she found, like, the letter...
Yeah, you haven't seen him and her together.
Yeah, she's killed Littlefinger and is now... This ties into the testing Sansa thing.
Oh, yeah,
She's testing and sort of manipulating Sansa to see where her loyalties lie. But I feel like next episode, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, we are family. Like, I feel like Bran's going to actually be fucking useful for once. And be like, by the way, he totes fucked over Dad, yo.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, alright, like, girl bro fist, grow fist. They're going to grow fist.
Grow fist.
And then Arya's going to fucking murder the shit out of him. Or Sansa's going to be like, I'm the Lady of Winterfell, kill that motherfucker.
If he is still alive, yeah.
Yes.
Because I thought I know we're not kind of going in the scene order in the episode, but I
think we could do it a bit more relaxed this week and just jump about.
But I thought the faces scene when Sansa finds the faces in her bag, which is a bit oddly placed for an assassin as well.
Yeah, it's just cash.
It's just casually just lying there, but she pulling out the faces. She's got Walder Frey, isn't it?
Yeah,
face and all this stuff. And you're like,
I was waiting for it to be like, the children are not in their beds. It's like moving the mouth.
I love it. The thing is as well, at that point when she came in and she said, I can be whoever I want to be, and I'm like, she's probably, because in the previous scene, I think with Sansa, it was Sansa and Littlefinger, and Littlefinger was giving her all of these things, and I'm like, I'm still thinking, why is Littlefinger there?
Yeah.
And potentially it could be, could have been her
Brienne
saying.
could help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she says, then she's rude as fuck to Brienne. That annoyed me.
Yeah.
That really annoyed me when she's like,
it's a long journey. You're about to start packing.
Why don't you fuck off, bitch?
Yeah.
It's like, and she's like, I'm the Lady of Winterfell. I'm the safest here. I'm like, bitch, you've been betrayed everywhere you've gone forever.
But also, she said, I'm safe here. It's my home, Winterfell. She was a prisoner.
Yeah, she was a prisoner.
In Winterfell, in her own home.
Exactly.
When she was
She
with
had
Ramsay.
to escape Winterfell.
By jumping into snow while snow was attacking.
Also, jumping back to when her and Arya are talking about the letter. And as I say, I think Arya goes a bit far, but like, again, I do think it ties into the fact that her character wouldn't necessarily, like, everyone's like, why is she being so harsh on Sansa? Like, she has just spent the past X amount of years alone.
Yeah.
As a slave at points, being tortured, not tortured, but like, you know, being stabbed a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot that wouldn't... Like, I don't think I would trust people if that happened to me over the next few years, and I'm a 27-year-old man, let alone the fact she was, like, what, supposed to be, like, 10? Or, like, between, like... I think she's up between, 7 and 13 or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, that, like, some very formative years of your life. You know what I mean? Where everyone she, like, loved died.
Yeah, and also, I understand that it's really weird because they're like, when they first meet, they're like, oh yeah, we've both been through a lot. Let's like leave it at that.
Yeah.
And then in this episode, they're like, well, you don't know what I've been through. Well, you don't know what I've been through. And I'm like, why don't you two just sit down and chat it all out?
Yeah, instead of just throwing
Why don't you sit down and be like, well, I had to do this, or I did this, and yeah.
Sansa annoyed me in parts because I think one thing she said, which is true and not true at the same time, when she said to Arya, you wouldn't have survived what I have been through.
Yeah.
I think physically she's right.
Yeah.
Because Arya wouldn't have given in at points, so would have just been killed.
Yes.
But I think emotionally, and I think, I mean, to me, I don't know, it's just my interpretation. I feel like she was talking about emotionally, Arya wouldn't have survived.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel like you definitely wouldn't have survived what Arya's been through, and she would have survived what you've been through.
Exactly.
Just because I feel like Arya's character, at least emotionally, is a lot more resilient.
Because in regards to Sansa as well, is she doesn't really plot so much.
I was just wondering.
Was a street lamp.
It's a street lamp. I was just wondering
turned
why.
on a bit late.
Wondered why the fucking sun just appeared through your curtains.
Like a UFO abducting us.
Yeah, like we're recording this at 9 o'clock at night, and it just got really bright.
It's the eclipse has just finished.
Oh, let's stare at it.
Yeah, that's why it's so dark outside. It's an eclipse every night. I don't know what people get all this fuss about. I reckon with Sansa is that she doesn't tend to plot anything against people she hates.
Yeah.
Hence, Littlefinger's still around there, and she keeps saying like Littlefinger's like untrustworthy and this.
Yeah, but keeps trusting him.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I know I can't trust him. He's like, but seems to still do exactly what he says without showing any signs of anything else.
Exactly.
And I feel like next episode, it's going to be like, she's going to be like, I saw through all of his schemes immediately, and I'm just going to, there was no pay, that was the payoff, but there was no build-up. It's like I was looking online and people are like, oh, it was good to see that she immediately saw through Littlefinger's scheme and sent Brienne away. She knew it immediately. And I'm like, what scheme are you talking about? Like, obviously he is setting up a scheme, but how is sending away Brienne defeating his scheme? You know what I mean? He might have, like, it's going a bit deep, but he may well have been like, Sansa doesn't trust me, so Brienne's going to be an issue if I try and do something. So if I'm just like, it's like, it's just, he's just being reverse psychology. It's like, Sansa, keep Brienne close, you'll be safe. And she's like, I see through you, Baelish, away, magnificently skilled protector.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm just like,
yeah.
And also, and this sort of rankled me a bit, when she starts saying, she's like, Jon didn't win the Battle of the Bastards, I won the Battle of the Bastards, right? I am, like, by all means, the Knights of the Vale did secure the victory, and I think Jon and the Wildlings would have died without them.
Yeah.
But she makes it sound as if her alone did it. You know what I mean? Like, if the Knights had been there from the beginning, I don't think, they might still have won, but I think it was, Ramsay didn't expect the Knights, so that helped. But she makes it sound like the Knights of Vale would have won that battle entirely on their own, and she did everything.
Yeah, but if Littlefinger didn't, Littlefinger kind of basically sold her to the Boltons, didn't it? If he didn't do that, and then the Knights of the Vale are kind of under his kind of domain, aren't they? So then that is really Littlefinger.
Yeah, no, I thought this as well, because I was like,
and then he didn't even have to sell her.
I thought the Knights of the Vale were kind of like loyal to him, like, because he isn't the Lord of the Area at the minute.
Yes.
So I was just like,
Moondor.
She got him to do it, and he did it. But I'm like, I feel like the Knights of the Vale answer to him, not her. I'm not trying to take away from the fact that she definitely won the battle, but I feel like the way she's like, you should be bowing down to me because I won, and it's like, you make it sound so much more about you. And also, it's like the Knights won the fight.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she didn't really do anything tactical.
No, she didn't tell Jon.
I have a weird feeling now that right at the end she's going to end up on the throne because everyone else is dead.
I'd absolutely hate it if she did. She's one of my least favourite characters.
Yeah.
She's so annoying. I like her more than I used to, but, it just goes right with the Battle of the Bastards. She's like, did it ever occur to you I could have insight? And he's like, what should I do? And she's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's exactly. Like, what the fuck is that? What contribution is that? Then there's, like, Tyrion and Dany chatting.
Yeah.
And I think that starts off really good. Like, I really like how that scene introduces around the fire.
Yeah.
And when they're chatting, like, he's like, I'm not a hero, and she's like, that's why I want you here, and all that, and does some really amazing stuff. But then she immediately flips her shit. Not immediately, but it's like they have this discussion, and it's good. And she's like, I love to talk about ruling with fear. When he's like, my dad, Cersei, Joffrey ruled with fear, but the problem with fear is that everyone under you wants to see you fall and all that. And she's like, oh, Aegon ruled with fear and he did pretty well. And he's like, yeah, but you keep talking about him to break the wall. The wheel.
The wheel, yeah.
He made the wheel. And I was like, it's so good. And then and she seems to actually be sort of like, oh, okay. And then after that, she just flips out on him again. And if you think about, if you break it down, his entire argument is, if you die, this all ends and there's nothing to be done about it. It's all fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
And she throws a hissy fit.
Yeah.
And she's like, fuck you, I'm going, and it's like...
But that's because, that's more the fact that he mentioned she's going to die.
Yeah, but she is going to die.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
The point is, it's not like he's throwing a hissy fit, she's throwing a hissy fit because he's like saying you need an heir or you need someone in charge or anything like that. But she's basically saying, like, I'm not going to die. That's why I don't need anyone.
Yeah.
I don't need anyone.
I'm never going to die, ever.
Yeah.
It's like fucking...
the mother of dragons.
It's like Team America. It's like, I promise I will never die. It's like, Danny, you're going to die, especially because you keep riding into battle with no armour on.
Yeah.
On top of the most obvious target in the world.
Yeah, she's got that big fucking brooch.
That fucking hideously designed brooch.
That big old brooch that's now grown a long tail across the top.
I mean, that's been there for a while.
Yeah.
But did you hear the costume designer was like, this is her crown. She wants the crown so much she crowned herself with this. And she's like, that's why I wanted to design. I'm like, well, you fucking designed a goddamn ugly as fuck thing that is there every episode.
It looks a bit tacky, it does.
I could get the chain, right? And if she had like the sigil of Targaryen or a Frederick. But no, it's a 3-dimensional fucking like bouquet of dragon heads.
Yeah.
And it's fucking ugly.
Yeah, and it doesn't look anything like a house sigil.
No.
Doesn't look anything like a dragon's.
Yeah. But then again, you see like the hilt of Longclaw for a long shot in this episode. I was like, that don't look like a wolf.
Yeah.
And they're like, we reforged it from a bear to a wolf. It don't look like a fucking wolf.
Yeah, it does. It just looks like a weird grey type thing
It's like a grey dog.
on there.
But, he cracks me up. He's like, I mean, who's going to succeed you? And she's like, I'm Baron. It's like, that's not a good reply.
Yes.
I'm going to end all this tyranny and all this regime, and I'm going to make the world free and good for people, and I want this peace to last forever. BT dubs, though, I also think I'm invincible. I seem to think I'm never going to die, and my only kids are dragons.
Yeah.
So, like, is she going to die, and then Drogon's going to be, like, in the Iron Throne? Just like, oh, King Drogon, what do you think? Oh, okay.
He'd marry Sansa. They'll marry Sansa.
That'd be a third family she could fuck their way into.
Yeah.
When you think about it, like Jamie says in season 1, where he's like, the war for Cersei's cunt. The past, like, 2 seasons, the war in the North has been like the fucking war for Sansa's cunt.
Yeah.
Because it's like everyone's fighting to get Sansa. Like, she's the key. She's the last Stark heir.
Or she might be a Targaryen. Somehow.
Yeah, everyone's a Targaryen somehow.
Well, that's the thing, because they were going about Tyrion being a Targaryen, and the theory behind that was the fact that it needed to be another mount for the dragon, but now the dragon's now a mount for the White Walker man.
And also, the other thing is, this was, people were saying this is confirming that Bran, like when they said Bran, you'll fly again, sort of thing. And people were saying it's because he's going to be a dragon rider. But people were like, he's going to walk into it. Now, it might actually be the case, because who else could, apart from, well, let's say who else, I mean, who amongst the good guys could control that?
Yeah.
It might.
And also, he's got a very good connection with the White Walkers after he was grabbed.
I want to talk about Bran and the White Walkers in a bit, actually.
I want to talk about it as well.
Yeah.
We could all talk about it. We should do a podcast about this.
Oh, my God.
We should call it Game of Thrones Postcast, Nowcast.
Yes,
Braincast.
and we could upload it to my big gay
Big gay.
my big gay board game.
Big gay board game.
Big Guy Board Games channel. You know how many times I've said that in like the intros? There's like 6 cuts per intro where I'm like, hey man, big gay up. We should
have just called it YouTube and then been done with it. That's what I would reckon.
Yeah, after I wonder why Baron isn't on her list of titles. Like Breaker of Chains.
It will be now.
Desolate of Womb.
I haven't seen like any other kind of assistants or anyone recently. It's kind of, they're all like shut away.
Maybe they're all fucking.
Maybe.
So then I've just like the next section on my list is just called banter scenes, all of them. So you have the Suicide Squad getting to know each other.
Yeah, that's good.
So there's fucking, I love the bit where Gendry's like, they sold me, she put leeches on me, and like Clegane's like, my brother burnt and disfigured my face, and Beric's like, I died 6 times.
Yeah.
And they're just like,
but it's funny with Gendry because he was like, she stripped me naked, tied me to a bed, and he's like, well, I don't see a problem with that. And he's like, but she put leeches on me. And they were like, was she naked? He was like, well, yeah. And she was like, what are you complaining about? Really? What are you complaining about?
And then you've got fucking, oh my God, the bromance between the Hound and Tormund is so good. I love it so much when he's like, and Tormund's just like, we've both been kissed by fire. And then fucking, he's just like, I just don't like gingers.
Yeah. Like, what's your problem with wildlings? He's like, I just don't like gingers.
So they've been on a boat for however long from Dragonstone to the north, right? Which again, time traveling, fucking teleporting, whatever.
Yeah.
So they were on a boat for, let's say, at least a day, right?
Yeah.
And John, nothing. They go north, small group, limited supplies, hopefully in and out getting a white. John then decides, when they have limited supplies, so in theory probably only 1 weapon each, to go to fucking Captain Friendzone and be like, here's your dad's sword.
Yeah.
And just like bald faces like, here you go.
Yeah.
And then we have that fucking really cliched scene of like, I broke my honour. Keep the sword. And it's just like, oh.
Humiliated my household. Yeah. No, you have it. No, you pay for the bill. No. I'll pay for the bill. No, you do. Also, with that, the scene with when they're talking about Brianna Tarth, it's quite funny.
Oh yeah, when he's like,
well, she looks at you like she's with the stare of death, and he's like, "You've met her too?"
and he's like, babies.
He's like, "What babies with her?"
She says to fuck her really badly.
So funny.
I love Tormund.
The tallest woman.
Tormund is honestly my favourite character. Tormund, then Arya, for me. Tormund, Arya, and then Jon is my top 3.
Yeah.
Although actually Tyrion might push Jon out. Because Tyrion's just hilarious.
I'm not too sure about actually Jon being one of my favourite.
Yeah,
characters,
tell a lie actually.
Because he's a good character, but then again, it's always nice to have like the
also...
Hound has become one of my favourite ones.
Oh, everyone's a cunt.
He just comes out, yeah.
Everyone's a cunt.
And that last episode, the amount of times he said cunt to the Army of the Dead, White Walkers, and everyone else. Tormund.
Can we address the fact that they also seem to have an unlimited army of red shirts ready to die?
Yeah. Right.
So it's like, I swear when they set out, there's like the named people.
Yeah.
I swear. There's you've got Jon, Thoros, Beric, Hound, Gendry, Jorah, and is there someone else? I feel like I missed someone.
No, the uncle showed up later, didn't he?
Oh, and did I say the Hound? Anyway, so let's say 6 or 7, right?
Yeah.
And maybe like an unnamed person, maybe 2.
Yeah.
And then it's like a couple died to the polar bear.
Oh, the giant. Yeah.
Then a couple died to the fucking little group of whites. Then another one dies to the whites when they're running across the ice. And then another one dies on the island with the whites.
One of them gets chucked in, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I was just like, how many people are there?
Yeah, I kept thinking like, oh, is this because Tash was doing it as well? We're watching it going, oh, is that so and so?
It's like when they're on the island bit and one of them gets dragged, I was like, oh shit, who's that? It's an unnamed Billy. That's it.
Yeah, I think that was the point.
I mean, I get the point that they're just sacrificial lambs to show you the stakes are high, but it's just like, just show a bigger group then.
Yeah.
But right, so we're at the polar bear. That polar bear scene was fucking rough. Also, that leak we were chatting about was right.
Yeah, it did say...
Everything we said in last week has come true.
They were like, it's going to get killed by a White Walker polar bear, and everyone was like, ha ha ha, that's stupid, that's never going to happen, it's not going to be a Game of Thrones, and it did. And it was a little bit less like Lost as I thought it would be.
It was also really slow and savage. Like, he was getting savaged by that. Yeah, that was a big fucking
Top Knot cunt was getting it.
Yeah, Thoros. Yeah, but he was getting savage for a long time, and the Hound's like, "Oh, it's on fire!
You hear him squealing, don't you?
Yeah,
you hear the
mate.
Going,
I felt awkward watching that.
It was a little bit drawn out. It's good though.
Also, so then they cauterise his wound with the flaming sword, right?
Yes.
But what got me is when they're sat on that rock for an indeterminate amount of time, shall we say?
Yeah.
Let's not talk about the time wrong, like the potential time differences until we get to the end. I think we can discuss that then.
Did look like they were like overnight there though, by the look of it.
We'll discuss that at the end. But anyway, so he seemingly can just rub his hand on the sword and it's on fire. He uses it to cauterise the wounds, which shows it's fucking hot quickly. Then they're all huddled on the fucking rock for at least one night. According to the director, several nights.
Wow, okay,
Yeah. And he doesn't do it. And Thoros fucking freezes.
Yeah.
Just light it up and like huddle around for a bit, surely.
Yeah, just have that maybe. They'll just say it's the Lord of Light probably didn't wanted him to die at that point or something.
And then...
but then he did manage to light it when he was dead and burn him and then all huddle around.
Yeah. And then we had the bit where they find like just a little group, more red shirts die, and then they get the one they wanted and he fucking... Raptor calls the rest of the White Walkers.
They do that thing though beforehand where he kills the Longclaw guy and then they all just fall down.
Yeah, they all die but one.
But one, which is odd. But then, so they're like, maybe it's all the people that he's raised.
Yeah.
But then surely he's raised more than that. So more people.
Yeah, but what you don't realise is it's actually over the hill where the White Walker army was.
Yeah.
Like 10,000 just went. Yeah, they just died. They just fell over.
Probably. I was waiting for that woman to, the one who. The woman wildling who turned to a zombie.
The pretty one.
Yeah,
the
and
pretty
then
one.
Right at the end when he raises him, you see her get up. I was expecting kind of her to be.
Yeah, that would have been cool. And John be like,
"Oh." Forefront. Now I've got a question for you with the kind of the army of the undead. Do they? It's awkward because they're kind of undead, but do they Do you think that if a skilled fighter became an undead, as in one of them, would he have the same level of skill, like really good?
I don't think so.
Does he just become a zombie?
I think
type?
if he was a White Walker,
yeah,
yes, but just a white. No, I think the point is that they're shuffling. Like the so I saw an interesting thing where people are talking about how whites have not become, they're not a threat anymore. It's like season 1 or whatever, or 2.
Yes.
When John's fighting, when it takes like a full 5 minutes, like to fucking kill it and all that. And they're like, it's just, they've gone from that to just cut cannon fodder. I think the difference there, and I noticed someone pointed this out, and I was like, that's kind of interesting, is one, obviously experience. It's X number of years, so he's fought them loads of time. And also, back then he's just using like mundane weapons, like a curtain pole or whatever the fuck.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And in this scene, if you watch, they're all using dragon glass weapons.
Yeah.
So it like people.
Or Valerian steel.
Yeah, and people are like, that's why they're so much easier to kill, because they're using the proper weapons.
The polar bear was Ser Jorah stabbed him with the dragon glass that I think Tyrion gave to him or something, didn't he? I can't remember. Because the episode before and before that, they're all pointing out, basically they're all really pointing out where all the Valerian steel daggers and swords are. And they're going, here, have this Valerian steel. Yeah. No, because it's, have this, like, are you sure? It's Valerian steel. Like they're advertising, like product placement almost. Yeah. And then they're like, dragon glass this. But no,
I think the idea is that they are. I mean, I've always had the impression that whites are like just massive cannon fodder. That's the point. But there's innumerable of them. Yeah, that's why they're scary. It's a classic zombie thing. Yeah, exactly. They don't feel pain. They just keep coming. Yeah. Also, something I was like fucking shouting through the entire thing is, why weren't they use? They specifically were like, Gendry, go. Gendry's hammer, and they're all chatting about having Gendry's hammer. Yeah. Why didn't he break the ice? Like, so the ice cracks. Yeah. The whites stop because a few fall through, and they clearly don't. They can't. Obviously, from that they can't swim or whatever the fuck.
They just fall. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, oh, okay. Would you not spend, even if we say, as it appears, it was just the one night. Yeah. Don't know about you. From that rock, I'd be like, smash, smash, smash. At least smash it around the rock, so then you've got, even if it's only a foot or so of broken ice. Yeah. But also, that would weaken the structural integrity of all the rest of the ice. Instead, they just sat there like cunts. Yeah. And then, when the fight does break out, fucking the hound smashes the hole and shitloads fall in. Yeah. If he had they'd spent the night fucking doing that, it wouldn't have been so bad, would it?
No, exactly. And I mean, but it's one of these things with that scene as well, is the fact that, well, if they would have smashed it around anyway, they would have just waited for him to die, so they would have kind of been limiting their escape, and potentially if they'd done that.
Like, John even says, we can only escape via Daenerys.
Yeah.
Like, he knows that's the only way out. But, you know what I mean? I was just like,
She comes in a helicopter.
Yeah.
Like, get to the chopper.
Also, when, like, Beric Dondarrion's like, we've been brought back, let's kill that fucker. And I'm like, I feel like you're skipping the fact that there's, like, a million corpses between you and that fucker. Yeah. Like, he's not going to come down and just be like, fancy a bit of sword play? He's not going to do a fucking, he's not going to do a mighty boosh and just be like, sword play! And fucking come rocking down.
It did look at one point like that was actually going to happen. Yeah, they were going to part.
Yeah, and he was just going to
going to part, and he was just going to walk up to him and then have a battle.
You know, so during that fight, like, we don't need to go in-depth shot by shot of that fight, but that fight I thought was pretty cool. Yeah. It did suffer a little bit from, like I said before, with the Dothraki fight, is that it was kind of a fight that was, like, had no purpose as such. Like, it was a fight just for the fight's sake.
Yeah, it was, because they would have normally just slaughtered them. So, you know, why are they...
But I feel like it had a little more purpose and was a little better because it wasn't as one-sided. Like, obviously, them versus the army it is. Yeah. But when the dragons come in and start helping that, you see what I mean? Like, I feel it was a better fight than the other one.
Yeah, but also, I think that in regards to... Because I was thinking, like, why are they doing this? Why aren't they just killing them? Yeah. Like, I'm just like, why are they surrounding them? Why are they camping them out? You know, there's fucking millions of them. Why doesn't the White Walker just blow ice on them or something?
Yeah, that was weird.
Like this, and I was just like, what... Why doesn't they just... And then I thought to myself, well, one thing it's showing is it's showing that the army itself and that the White Walkers actually have control. Yeah. It's more of a tactical thing to show that they are actually intelligent in a sense, so that they can actually control this army, and they can do this, they can do that, rather than just like a horde of crazy people. Yeah. So that's the main thing I think about it. But what I did really like is when when the hound started lobbing stones,
That was fucking
and his
hilarious.
jaw comes off.
It's like, you cunt.
And then he lobs another stone, just lands by his foot, and the guy's like...
As soon as he picked up that other stone, and I saw it was a bigger stone, I'm like, that's not going to go as far, and it's just going to...
Yeah, it's just going to provoke him.
So that fight was great. Like, the actual... Like, mechanically, it's like beautiful fight.
Yeah.
Like, cinematography-wise, it's so nice. But I've got to be honest, I got so uncomfortable because I thought Tormund was going to die.
Yes.
Like... And that goes on for like a full minute.
Yeah.
It's not just like he gets cut and then goes down and goes near the pool and then it's said he goes down, he gets bundled, he gets some off of him, he gets pulled down. Then more come out from under the water and start dragging him down. And like then it looks like one of them's like cutting his neck. And
they're holding a sword across his neck, so he can't actually do anything. He looks like he's choking.
I was just like, because I love Tormund, and I was just like,
yeah.
I was getting like, no.
It was a pretty like scene of, because I remember, because you saying last time, like if they kill someone, like with Jamie's like sinking in the water, they're like, if they kill someone, they're gonna drag it out, they're gonna make you know he's dead. And I was just like, watching that scene going, he's dead.
I think this is another scene though. When I was saying about you can tell that George isn't writing it anymore. I feel like this is it, right? Yeah. Like because
they would all be dead.
Yeah, well, the big premise of Game of Thrones is that anyone can die.
Yes.
Right? And yes, I know one of the dragons died. But let's be honest, the dragons are shit characters. They're not really characters. They're just objects, basically.
Yeah.
They're just there to be a dragon. It's like there's that bit where Jon turns around and I think one of them's getting stabbed or whatever. Like we were saying when we thought it was, who is it? And it's just a nameless person. Yeah. I feel like if it was George, I feel like fucking Tormund would have got dragged under and be dead.
Yeah.
And maybe like Jorah or someone else or like Beric Dondarrion would have got stabbed and died. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like there's no consequence anymore. Because, like, I think that's the thing. Like, you remember when we were saying about the theories of Eddard still being alive?
Yeah.
But, and I want it because I love Eddard, but the issue would be it kind of ruins the premise of Game of Thrones that people can die at any time.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they no one has plot armor.
It's all a dream.
Yeah, I feel like
Jamie's got a lot of plot armor recently,
and actual armor.
And actual was it leather wood armor or whatever that floats.
I don't know. I feel like the fight didn't have as much weight as it could have because no one died.
Yeah, of course.
Apart from nameless cunts.
Well, there was nameless cunts, but also don't forget his uncle.
No! We're gonna fucking talk about how dumb that was in a minute.
And he's just like, comes
so.
in. Do you want, before we go any further, do you want water or drink or anything?
Oh, I'd love some water, please. I'm really drying up. Yeah. Okay, so while Alfie's gone, I'll just have a little chat here. And sponsored by My Chats. So if you enjoy the NOWcast Postcast, please drop us a like, maybe a subscribe, cheeky comment down below. Just so we know you guys are enjoying yourselves. If there's anything else you want to just want us to chat about, or you want to chat with us, again, just leave us a comment. Just get some interaction and some feedback going so we know what you guys are thinking. If you disagree, shut the fuck up, it's our podcast.
So we may retrofit this podcast for series 1 or something.
Oh, are we... Okay, so we were talking about this.
Yeah.
We are potentially going to go back and do all of Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're potentially going to go... Because we're going to have some time after next week, and we're potentially going to go back and do this for every episode. Obviously... But I think that could be kind of cool because then that's a cool retrospective. So like we're doing this every week, and we're throwing out like what we think and like implications and stuff. But doing a retrospective, we've seen the impact.
And we can see where it leads or how it leads.
And I think that could be kind of cool.
Yeah, or if it doesn't lead, if it was a story arc that just stopped.
Yeah, or there's a plot hole. I think that could be cool.
That's what I thought happened to Bran originally when he went in the tree, and then it was like what, whole season?
And he's fucking.
Yeah, but yeah.
So then we've got the fact that the Night King is like the Olympic javelin thrower, and it's just like,
oh yes,
boosh comes the dragon. That I was like, ooh.
Yeah, that was obviously going to happen because forever Tyrion's like, you're going to get, I saw them firing all them arrows at you. I thought, at least it only takes one to hit you and you're dead. Yeah. And she's like, I am invincible. And yes, so far she is. Yeah. But then her dragons, hopefully, that might have grounded her a bit. Because I do actually I know the dragons aren't characters in a sense, but I do like the dragons because they're big.
I felt bad because to me they're like big animal. Well, they are big animals, and I love animals more than people.
It's like when they chop the horse's legs off and stuff in fight scenes. They,
It makes me feel funny because I'm like, oh, poor horse.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a real horse though, but
I know, but that fucking horse didn't want to go to war.
Yeah,
CGI
exactly.
or not.
Speaking of CGI, have you watched any of the YouTube videos of Game of Thrones without CGI?
Yes.
They're so funny.
When she's like petting the dragons.
And it's just a tennis ball and a stick.
Yeah.
And then the other one, which I found quite amusing, is when the dragon came in to rescue her from the arena.
Yeah, that's...
And it's just a bloke with wings just standing there waving them around.
Have you seen the one where she can't get the line right, where she's sat on like what looks like a mechanical pool?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Da blah da fucky dothraki.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't seen any of the outtakes. I've only watched the CGI ones.
There's a brilliant one where Peter Dinklage can't say benevolent.
Excellent.
And he's like, the wise masters of Yunkai, the benevolent slave traders or whatever, all that. And he's like, benevolent? And it takes so many takes. And then there's another shot, and I think it's like a season later, and like it's him and like an assistant doing a line readout, and like he's drinking away, and they take the piss out of benevolent, and they're like, oh, the benevolent, and he just sprays water everywhere or some shit. It's so good. Excellent. I'll show it to you after we finish this. So yeah, that was kind of cool. Seeing the dragon suffer was not cool. And then when it just skids.
And also all that blood.
Oh, don't.
That amount of spray. I was like, at first I was like, what is that? And then I was like, oh shit, that's just like, it reminded me, and they've probably taken this from this as well. But like when they have like either a plane crash or something else like that, and you've got shitloads of fuel just pouring out and stuff like that.
I think that's what they might have probably took inspiration
Probably. But and then I was like, as soon as that happened, I was like, White Walker Dragon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, White Walker. And again, exactly what we said last week. And what did we say last week? That next week, the dragon's going to breathe blue fire and it's going to bring down the wall.
Yeah, melt the wall.
Yeah. So then John's like, go without me. And even though it's kind of John's fault because she's like, let's go. And John's like, no, mate, I need to kill like 6 more whites.
Yes.
For no reason. And get progressively further as well.
He's like, get to the chopper, and then runs off.
Yeah. And then she's like waiting, and he's just like, I'm coming. The fucking lance is getting ready, and then he's just bundled by 2 fucking whites as well.
Yeah, it was quite interesting as well though, because he looked very upset when the dragon got.
Yeah, he looked legitimately hurt.
He looked like legitimately.
But then I think when you go to the scene later where he's talking to her in the boat, I think he understands. You know what I mean? When he's just like, look, I'm like, the first thing he says when he wakes up is, I'm so sorry. I wish we'd never done it. Because I think he gets the connection she has with them. At least, if not fully, he understands that they mean the world to
because
her.
To everyone else, they're dragons. To her, they're actually her children.
Yeah.
So they're actually her children. So she just lost a child who she's raised up, and she also has that feeling of invincibility in a sense. And then that's kind of
this is humanizing, grounding,
literally grounding.
So Benjen Stark is filling in the cold hands kind of role.
Yeah.
Right? And he comes in on this horse, fucking swinging the flaming censer fucking thing, which is like the coolest fucking thing.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Jumps off of the horse for some reason, puts John on the horse, and when John says, come with me, instead of mounting the horse, he goes, no time, and just goes and dies immediately.
Yeah.
Right, granted, he might not be fully dead, but I'm probably
pretty sure that would make him definitely dead undead.
Yeah. We've seen all these other shots where people ride along and grab someone and then they double ride. You know what I mean? Without this man. So they were just like, oh fuck, Benjen's still in the north, dead. How do we kill him?
Yeah. He
comes. You know what? I saw someone online saying what would have been infinitely cooler is if, because they ride off on Drogon. Yeah. But Rhaegar was always going to be the one that Jon would ride.
Yeah.
They were like, wouldn't it be cool if like Rhaegar landed and like roared at Jon, but then let Jon get on or whatever? And that was like the first time we see Jon ride dragon. And I was like, that kind of could have been cool because then there would have been more hints of him being a Targaryen, like to other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought at that point as well, you know, when Jon gets dragged under.
Yep.
And then he's fighting. I thought a dragon was going to come diving in. Yeah. Or I thought White Walker Dragon, but I thought maybe that the dragon was actually maybe like a zombified type, not quite White Walkerish, and then kind of just went and got Jon and then fucked off.
Yeah.
And my other one that was going through my head at the time, because I quite like this theory as well, is the fact that potentially, I don't see it happening, but maybe, because it could be at the end, but that John ends up being like his uncle in a sense, but being able to control maybe the army of the dead or something, so he becomes the protector by having to be a White Walker.
Have you ever played World of Warcraft?
No.
So in World of Warcraft, have you ever played like Warcraft 3 or anything like that?
No, I've seen the movie.
Oh, okay, but that has nothing to do with it. But so in Warcraft 3, part of it you play. So you play as Prince Arthas, right? He's Prince to one of the kingdoms. And he's a paladin. And basically, there's an undead plague which happens. And basically, all of his kingdoms keep getting turned into the undead. Blah, 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 blah. He kind of falls to the dark side, as it were. And he goes north to Northrend, which is an icy continent, and finds Frostmourne, which is like an evil runeblade. Long story short, it corrupts his soul.
Yeah.
And he was fighting against the undead. He becomes an entity known as the Lich King, who controls all undead.
Oh, yeah.
He then goes about trying to murder fuck the world. Right? Fine. Many years later, World of Warcraft, there's an expansion, Wrath of the Lich King. In the final boss, you fight the Lich King, kill Arthas, then one of the other characters comes along and he's like, look, I'll put on the Lich King's armour, because without it, the undead will just go berserk and like wipe out the world. So someone has to sacrifice themselves to stay here and keep them in check. Yeah. So what you just outlined would be like the plot of that expansion. Yeah. In Game of Thrones.
I wouldn't put it past them at HBO to do that. But yeah, that'd be quite interesting, because it would be the bittersweet thing about how. Well, he always said, I don't see Jon sitting on the throne. No, he won't. I don't see Jon, and I don't think Daenerys would be on the throne.
They always said, George Martin has always said, it's going to end bittersweet.
Yeah.
So that would be a thing that maybe Jon finally does get to the throne, but then
he's a zombie.
Yeah,
he's cold hands.
They're like, oh shit, they're going to wipe out the world, and then
it's like Benjen
stabs himself with dragon glass, because that's how they made them, didn't they?
Yes,
the children
to protect them.
Yeah, so maybe he will.
But there's also that other thing as well, which is quite interesting about the enchantments of the
before we go into extra stuff like that. Let's just round off the episode.
Yeah.
We've got the bit where they're in the boat, and it is. Remember, we said they're gonna fuck in the boat.
Yes.
They are gonna fuck next episode in that fucking boat.
They look like it.
They're gonna bang in that boat. They're gonna have them. Is it just me? So she's been like cutting in on about the dagger to the heart thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, she looked horny when she saw the fact that he's actually got a scar above his heart.
I know, yeah.
She was just like I'm so moist.
She's like, look at this. God, she's like a bit of skin.
Yeah,
she's like a bit of skin, because they've got his bed sheets down by his stomach.
They've got the ab window.
They got the ab window, and she's sitting there, and also when he woke up, she was sitting there with him, wasn't she?
She's like, hey babe.
You could tell that but also, which is quite interesting, is that she looked a bit. She's normally quite composed, whether she's being ultra kind of solid or patronising or whatever, she's still composed. And then at that point, when she leaves Jon, she looks like she's like, oh my god, what do I do? So she's either rattled by her. Well, I know she's rattled by the fact that she's just lost a dragon, but also the fact that maybe her feelings for Jon.
There's that lingering hand-holdy bit, and they've been discussing the love and all that.
Yeah, so, and then he's like, I'll call you my queen.
Yeah,
and then I was like, well, why?
Why,
Jon?
And
that's because she saved him, and he's basically like, I'm not worthy to be a leader, in a sense.
Yeah. So we've discussed, like, she finally bends the knee, and she finally agrees to help him.
She said, I would bend the knee.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit late. I'm laying down. I'm laying down the knee.
Why don't you lay with me?
I'm laying the knee. We'll lay your knee.
Yeah, I'll lay something else for you. So, and a lot of people are like, yes, Jon finally got over his pride and that. And I'm like, I don't see it like that at all. Because as I said before, this whole pride thing felt really hollow to me.
Yeah.
Because I never felt like Jon was saying no because of his pride. He was always saying no because the Northern Lords wouldn't help him otherwise. Yeah. But you see what I mean? And I feel they're really pushing this whole Jon's pride thing a lot, and I just don't see it.
He doesn't. He's quite a humble leader.
Yeah, this is what I mean. He doesn't strike me as like
he's like this is the position that I've been chosen for.
Yeah,
not I have chosen this position.
He was democratically elected, essentially.
Exactly.
Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just like such a fucking fanboy for him that I don't see it. But I just, whenever I watch the episodes, and like Tormund's like, Mance wouldn't bend the knee, his pride got us killed, and I'm like, but Jon's not he's never been like, I won't bow to you. Like, literally, she's like, bend the knee, and he's like, if I do, the Northern Lords won't follow us, and we can't stop the army of the dead.
Yeah, and he's not interested about Cersei at all forever, apart from
that's the
this
thing.
whole... He's more concerned about stopping the army of the North before it gets down to King's Landing more than actual getting Cersei off the throne.
Because he doesn't want to get through people.
Yeah.
I feel like he doesn't give a shit about... again, I won't go into it again.
Yeah.
But I feel like the writers are really pushing it, and I don't think it's there.
Yeah.
At least not the way they're then writing it, you know what I mean?
And there was then also in the episode the great ending scene.
Oh, yeah.
God knows where them chains come from.
I was literally about to say
Where the fuck did they get all them chains?
I saw this thing, and it's like last night's Game of Thrones summed up in texts.
Yeah.
And it's like texts from the Night King to like the Whites, and it's like, you guys were like, we've got to carry chains all across the north. What are we going to use big chains for? And it's like, you fucking, like, I called it, and they're just like, we're never going to hear the end of it.
Exactly. Yeah, it was pretty impressive, though, that guy with the javelin. He did a good job. But yeah, then he got the dragon. He put his hand on the dragon. Yep. And again, I was staring at that dragon. I was staring at the CGI going, that's pretty decent CGI.
Yeah,
That's pretty good. And then it had blue eyes.
So, I feel like...
Although it's not as white as I thought it'd be. I thought it'd be like proper, like it would go all white or
trying to whitewash it.
Like a White Walker.
Trying to whitewash it.
Like a White Walker.
White Walkers are blue anyway.
Like a blue walker. They're bluey white.
Blight.
They're blight
They
walkers.
are a blight. So now I feel like it's the time where we talk about other shit and fan theories and stuff.
Yeah.
So you were talking about the
children of the forest enchantments, right?
Okay, I'm listening.
So you've got I cannot remember if we spoke about this last time. I don't think we did. But basically, it's how the White Walkers, the wall's supposed to be enchanted by the children of the forest, so that the White Walkers can't get past it.
Yep.
So therefore, protected, no issue.
Yep.
But then again, we think the White Walkers are going to walk around the wall.
But, or breathe fire.
Yeah, or melt it down. The other thing as well, though, is the fact that when Bran was in the tree...
Yeah, and then touching him, let
him in because that was protected. And now it's kind of, he's got it's almost like a Horcrux type thing.
Yeah, I get it.
With the White Walker, the King.
The Night King.
Night King. What a cool name. I'm Batman. Yeah, so I think the point is that they can easily get through the wall.
Yeah,
they can just.
My friend was saying that as well. So what I want to talk about is the Night King himself and his identity.
Yeah.
So have you seen theories on this?
I haven't seen any theories. I've got my own couple of theories which would potentially make sense in a weird Game of Thrones way.
My friend Matt has brought this theory up to me quite a few times.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't really give it much... Well, I gave it a bit of thought, but I didn't really put much stake in it until I saw some side-by-side pictures today.
Yeah.
So the idea is that that Night King is Bran.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the idea is there's loads of different ways people say he's got there. Either he, time travelled, like Wog might time travelled like he done before and got stuck and became Night King, or people... You know how, the Three-Eyed Raven said to him, if you stay here too long, you'll lose yourself.
Yeah.
Basically, via use of his powers or abuse of his powers, possibly, he's become the Night King.
Yeah.
And what made that interesting for me is I didn't, okay, cool, interesting. But then I looked at a picture of the Night King when he's first introduced, and he's the Night King this season.
Yeah. And
then put that next to a picture of Bran this season.
Okay.
And... his face, I'll bring up a picture quickly. His face used to be a lot rounder, right? Yeah. But this season, his face, maybe I'm just putting images there, but it looks a fuckload more like the actor who plays Bran's face. Like, they've made the CG look a lot more like Bran.
Yeah, okay.
Let me just put up this picture of you.
Because they do have a specific actor who plays the Night King, so therefore if they're doing CGI to make him look more like Bran, that's got to be on purpose. And in regards to Bran becoming do you think he gets trapped in him, or he turns himself into
it could be,
because I know a lot of Game of Thrones is obviously going to be there's so much type of time travel stuff in there, the whole Hodor incident, and all that stuff. There's loads of time lines of travel or something.
Goes back really far, this entire theory, right? And maybe I think we could cover this on its own. There is also the idea that it's slightly more malicious,
right?
Warhammer 40k,
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if you know anything about that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the current state, or when I last played, because I keep changing the story, but basically the Imperium of Man is in this sort of stagnant decline again, and it's like stuck versus all these enemies and versus Chaos.
Yeah.
The gods of Chaos are the big bad guy.
Yeah.
And like, so everything's in this decline, and like, So, I mean, going back to the books,
Yeah.
which are set before like half of the army's turned to Chaos, there's this really interesting part where the leader of one of the legions, the Primarchs of the Alpha, I think it's the Alpha Legion, they're given a vision, and the vision is, they're lied to, but the vision is, look, if the Imperium wins, if you don't help the Chaos side win, if you don't turn evil and join Chaos,
Yeah.
then the Imperium went this awful stagnant phase, and the Gods of Chaos will win for all time. But if you join the Gods of Chaos, they'll win and basically burn themselves out, and then humanity will regrow from the ashes and enter an ultimate golden age of peace.
They're right, yeah.
So they joined Chaos to try and... No, they were lied to, and obviously it led to the stagnation.
Yeah.
But that makes me think back to this. What if BRAN has seen futures of the world being like ravaged by war or destroyed or anything like that, and has then, when he's time traveled, basically helped create the Night King, right, and then did certain things on purpose, like taking his branded mark through the wall to destroy the wards on the wall, so the Night King could come through, because maybe that'll finally unite all of the kingdoms to fight the zombies and like save everyone, if you get what I mean, rather than them being constantly at war.
Yeah, I think as well, I like the idea of that, because the fact is it's kind of that kind of almost like socio-political kind of view about people are destroying themselves.
Yes.
And therefore if they kind of reset themselves, like the Matrix.
Yeah.
If they reset themselves every so often, and then start again, and then they have to get to a point where the bubble bursts and they have to reset themselves.
I also feel like this could be the case now after he's become the Three-Eyed Raven.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like before it wasn't necessarily going that way, but he's done that because I feel like it's a very pragmatic decision.
Yeah.
Right? And where he's become very detached from emotion with all this noise, I feel like it's like he might make like a very clinical decision, like cutting off a gangrenous leg, for example.
Yeah.
He's like, if I help build the army of the dead, and that kills 100,000 people, but then saves 100 million people, done. You know what I mean? Like, where he's become a lot colder and distant.
Well, I think he's become desensitized because obviously he's seen everything that happens in the past, everything that happens in the future, and he's just been sitting there probably making up, trying to think of what he can and can't do, and then he's worked out like, well, can't do anything because it's like what was that old 80s TV old 80s film War Games, when the computer decides to they're like, I'll play it in noughts and crosses and it will destroy itself, because the thing is there's no way that you can win. In a sense it's kind of like that. He's gone through all of these so many options, and the option in the end of the day, no one can kind of win straight away, so someone has to, or something like that.
I mean, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about, personally.
Yeah.
You got anything else you want to bring up?
No ideas on the next episode.
Before that, there was one last thing I was going to cover, because I just wanted this to be quick. I don't want this to be a big thing. When people are talking about the fact that people like can teleport, and like it seemed like it looks like one night has passed.
Yeah. Right.
And then the director's like, it's actually like 4 days or
yeah.
He either says it's 4 days or something, or I feel people just need to get the fuck over it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I get it. They're going from one side to the other, but like, it's a fucking TV show, and it would be super boring.
Yeah.
If it was like, oh, let's get a Raven to Daenerys.
Real life.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, if they did it real life, so it'd be 4 days for a whole episode.
Yeah, I feel like
just have a Raven flying.
I feel like I can get it, how it can be annoying. Like, whoa, that was fucking quick, because they're like on the other end of the continent. But I'm just like, look, it's a TV show. Get the fuck over it. This does not need to be such a big thing.
Yeah.
And I've got to be honest, it's like dragons, ice zombies, fucking all this shit, and you're worried about them moving quickly. Like, that's the part of the supernatural shit that's too much for you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not really even supernatural, because, I mean, even from a point of view when I'm watching it now, the time frame is a lot shorter, but that's because they've got a lot shorter episodes.
Yeah.
And they've got to tie up all of these loose ends.
Yeah.
And they want to get all this stuff done across all of the continents, but they just haven't, for whatever reason, the series is shorter. However, the next episode is apparently going to be mega long.
I heard it was like 80 or 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's like a feature length film, so it's like an hour and a half.
Well, that's an old feature length film. Feature length film nowadays like 4 hours.
2 hours and 45 minutes.
So,
yeah, it's a feature length horror movie.
So next week, I reckon, some predictions for next week. I reckon the Arya Sansa Littlefinger thing's going to happen.
Yeah, so Littlefinger's either going to be killed or has been killed.
Yes, basically I think Littlefinger's being removed.
Yeah.
I think the Stark family are like, solid again.
Yeah. So they all do a high five.
Yeah. I think Sam and Bran are going to talk about Jon being a Targaryen.
Yeah.
Because I think Sam's going to get to Winterfell before Jon does on the boat. Like,
is he actually going to Winterfell? He's not going to the Wall, is he?
No, I feel like Jon and Dany are going to be on the boat for a lot of the episode, right? And
yeah.
I feel like they're going to go to King's Landing. They're going to show off the White. Cersei's going to be like, let's do it. Let's all go fight the White. This is like a big thing. Going to betray them in some way.
Yeah.
I think Jaime's going to leave her.
Yeah, I think James.
I don't know if that's going to be this season though, but I feel like she's going to be like, let's all go north. And then when everyone starts marching north, she's like, actually, call the troops back. We'll let them kill each other.
Yeah.
And then and he's going to be like, look, because he's trying to be honourable again.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to be like, this is too much, Cersei. Like, this is actually like an apocalyptic threat, and you're still just trying to be petty about the crown.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be done with her. I think that she's going to miscarry.
Yeah.
I think they're going to fuck on a boat, as in Dany and
John.
I feel like they're going to cut from them fucking on the boat to Bran and Sam being like, so Daenerys is on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It'd be like that moment. Also, I think that if Sam's going to meet with John, but John's still on the boat though, but I don't know what point, I reckon, because Sam hasn't been told his dad's dead yet, or his brother.
Yeah.
So at one point, I reckon there's going to be a scene where Daenerys realises that when she's burnt him, his brother and his dad.
Do you reckon she's going to be like, look, I'm trying to destroy the old ways. I don't care that you took the black. You're the heir to the Tarly household. Because he's got the sword and all that. Like, I feel like even though he kind of doesn't...
Does that really make... That's really... I mean, you still got, like, John is now kind of, like, head of Winterfell, but then he was...
That's what I mean. I feel like where she's breaking down the rules and all of that.
The wheel.
There's a lot of talk about, like, if going against the rules... But it was right, the rules are wrong, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's becoming a big thing.
It is.
So I feel like, and also look, so Sam tried to be Night's Watch, couldn't do it.
Yeah.
He's always been told he couldn't be the heir to the family.
Yeah.
Tried to be a maester, got bored.
Yeah.
But now he is the last male Tarly alive.
Yeah.
Has his family's sword and kind of doesn't have a purpose at the minute.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to end up becoming the head of the Tarlys and something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's going to happen. Him and Bran, I think, are going to chat about, as I say, Jon's heritage. But I feel like Jon's not going to be there. They're going to have that chat and then smash cut to him and Dany fucking.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be like, incest. And then I think...
That's how, I reckon that's how the only way she can get pregnant, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Because the Targaryens are always about sex in the family, aren't they?
Yeah. And then I reckon it's going to cut to the White Walkers attacking the wall, and I think some of them are going to be coming through, and I think like Dolorous Ed's going to get killed.
Yeah.
And then I feel like the last shot is going to be fucking the Night King on Viserion, like strafing the wall and just burning it down. Yeah. I reckon the last scene is definitely the wall going. I've got this image in my head.
It's a massive fucking wall, but...
Yeah, I've got this image in my head of this shot of the wall being totally fine.
Yeah.
And then that hideous, creaking, tearing, like, ice noise. That ice tearing stuff apart, and there's just going to see this...
Earthquake-type noise.
Yeah, and you're going to see this massive crack spread, and it's just going to shear off.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's going to be the last shot.
Or it's going to be like Apocalypse Now type scene.
Yeah, it's going to be something.
Like it was in the previous scene. So...
Any thoughts on your end?
No, I reckon that's pretty much tied it up.
I reckon Tormund and Brienne are going to... I think he's going to try again.
I reckon she will. She's got to accept at one point, isn't she?
I think so. I think she's going to.
She's got to at one point. Come on. She's got to settle down. there's got to be a point as well. Maybe Sam. I reckon Sam might survive, but he might end up going out. As you mentioned, he's the heir to the Tarly place now. He's the only one left. Yeah. So I think maybe John might say to him, "Look, go with Gilly back to there."
I reckon that Daenerys is going to be like, "Look, your father pledged to the crown.
I'm going to kill you.
I destroyed him, and maybe I regret killing your brother because that's what." Like Tyrion sort of trying to get through to her.
Yeah.
About like killing him was possibly not a great shout.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's going to be like you could be the head of the Tarleys, but you need to bend the knee. And he's going to be like...
Weird thing is, though, in regards to the way she's been acting, is that for ages Tyrion's like, don't do this, don't do that, don't fly on your dragons, it's really dangerous, blah, blah, blah. Then what she's done is she's flew on her dragons and she saved the shit out of a lot of important characters. Yeah. So then... Now Jon extremely respects her and says, "You're the queen, basically. You're my queen because of what happened, because of that situation." But then now she's feeling a bit grounded because of her dragon's dead. So it's really weird because she should be feeling like, "Oh yeah, I am now." Yeah. Kind of like, "Oh, he's given me respect because of this action that I thought to do." But
okay. So thank you everybody for joining us this evening. This has been Josh and Alfie for the NOWcast Game of Thrones Postcast. And if you think we're wrong, fuck off, really.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that shit. And hopefully we'll be back next week for the finale of Season 7.